Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a wonderfully clean car. This is a Honda CR-V 2.2S diesel and it's the automatic version. Car's covered just 71,000 miles, finished in silver, and one of the cleanest cars I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see there, whoever owned it's obviously very protective of the car because they fitted the stone chip protector on the front of the vehicle and also deflects away from the windscreen stones to help protect. Easily take them off, they're easily unclipped if you don't want them. I actually think it looks rather nice on the car. Front of the car, absolutely so clean. Lights, lenses clear, intact, and no cracks or condensation. Bonnet helped by the protector, no doubt. I can't see a stone chip of any note on there at all. Near side, absolutely mirror smooth. We've not even washed this car, that's how clean it is. Near side front alloy, the one takes all of the bashing. I can't see a mark on there. Panel work, quite amazing. Near side rear alloy, again, completely unmarked. Bumper corners in the back, even the plastic sections, absolutely nothing. Keep going around. Yeah, wonderfully clean. Offside of the car, as with the near side, absolutely no indentations and just so crisp. Alloy, near side rear, offside rear rather, again unmarked. And final alloy again in lovely condition. I mean, it's got to be a mark somewhere on it, but I can't see one that's immediately obvious. That is one of the cleanest, as I said, I think I've ever seen. Let's come to the boot area. Massive boots on the CR-Vs, quick fold rear seats, and again, unlike so many CR-Vs which are very heavily used, this one's been used very gently indeed. Just coming into the back of the car now. Again, absolutely stunningly clean, because CR-Vs generally are family cars and can be very heavily used in the back. By the way, this video has a habit of making the centre of the seats look slightly sort of purpley. They're not, it's absolutely black, so it's kind of weird why the video does it, so ignore it. They are jet black in here. If I can find a way of changing that, I will, but I don't know how because I'm a dinosaur. Coming to the front and the passenger side, again, all absolutely beautifully clean. Finally, come to the driver's door card rather, again, completely unmarked. Footwell areas, lovely and clean. And the driver's seat, again, absolutely unmarked. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section as always, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard, again, it just looks absolutely as new. It is in beautiful condition. Let's come up to the main binnacle. Hopefully you can see 71,012 miles. And there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third. That's exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars. Just to show you, owner's manual and lock and wheel nut key both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2S diesel and it's the automatic version. This particular car is registered FX64. It looks like UCN. Sorry, my writing's appalling. And mileage currently showing 71,005 miles. The reason for doing all of our videos is very simple. Basically, we just want to ensure that if anyone's looking at our cars online, they get to see the car we're advertising actually in operation, and it's the very car. We've been to go and see loads of cars ourselves when buying, only to get there and find out that despite the photographs being good and the description being nice, to find that it's got a fundamental issue. So that's why we do the videos, to feedback on anything that there may be before anyone comes to us, as rare as it may well be. We also do it on these lovely quiet country roads very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, so hopefully then it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, as you know from the advert, hopefully, it's been a very, very well looked after car and immediately feels like it. It's as solid as rock. Engine starts instantly and settles to an absolutely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge I do later in the video. I try and do the videos when I can, as with this car, from cold, because obviously cars can have issues when sort of cold and hot, different issues, so that's why we try and do it, as I said, where we can. The engines are superb diesel engines. It's smooth and quiet in operation, typical Honda in the sense that it's, they're strong, reliable and very long lasting if with just regular maintenance, but they're also a lovely engine to use day in, day out, because it's not a given actually that a diesel and an auto will actually go well together. I've driven some which just are horrible. It's just the how they interact between the two. But because this engine's got so much torque, it's not going up and down the gearbox the whole time. Because again, some diesels can lull you into thinking they're more powerful than they are because they give you that initial thrust, but then they kind of die away. And certainly on the open road, you suddenly realise the gearbox is having to work a lot harder. Whereas this is so civilised and so pleasant to use. When I've had umpteen diesel auto CR-Vs, I absolutely love them. It's a really nice combination. The gearbox, by the way, originated actually back in the old Honda Legend years ago. That was a 300 horsepower flagship car. The reason they used it in this is basically they didn't have a gearbox that was man enough for the torque of the engine. So rather than go to the expense of developing a completely new one, they went in-house and complete engineering overkill, used one that's designed for much, much more powerful cars, and which is why we've never touched one, I guess. Notwithstanding reputation, you should still do the obvious checks on any automatic, and same with this one. Just make sure when you're stationary, you put it into gear, there's no great delays or thunks as it engages gear, and the gear changes on the move should be nice and smooth, and this one's perfect in every single respect. Steering on the car, again, a real strong point on the CR-Vs, because unlike so many which can feel quite truck-like and disconnected, this feels incredibly car-like to drive, very accurate and precise, very nicely weighted. It makes the car feel very secure and solid on the road. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But as I said, I feel the whole car just feels incredibly tight and taut. Chassis of the vehicle, Honda know this market incredibly well. The CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, so clearly it is for a reason. They know exactly what their customers want, and that's not a car that's going to handle like a BMW M Series. It basically is going to be a car that goes to the corners beautifully. It glides the corners. There's very little kind of pitching and wallowing, which you get with some cars, which can be quite disconcerting and quite unpleasant for rear seat passengers in particular. But it then manages also to give you this very compliant, very nicely damped ride. It's just a lovely, lovely compromise between all aspects of what the car needs to give you. What I'm looking for on the road test, by the way, is any signs of any kind of mechanical clonks or rattles coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all, as it's absolutely silent in that respect. I'm going to do the brakes in a second, but I'm going to deviate slightly because the truck's not going quite quick enough for the speed I want to check the brakes. So let's pop up this road. Go too quick again, just wait to get past the horses. It's nice to see them here, it's lovely. Very envious, I must admit. Anyway, to track, I'm just going to hold on to my bits so they don't go flying off the seat, but I'm going to give my brakes a good hard shove. And hard enough to get the hazard lights to come on, which is what is part of the safety feature of the car. Brakes are perfect. And what I'm looking for in particular is sort of pulsing of vibrations coming back through the brake pedal. And there's none at all. It's absolutely spot on. Just coming inside, as you'll know from the walk around video, it's in absolutely beautiful condition in here. What the stationary video can't impart, unfortunately, is just how well built these things are when you're on the move. No squeaks, no rattles. They are beautifully, beautifully bolted together cars. Honda really know how to put their cars together very well, and it's a lovely, lovely car to sit in and drive. You've got really good visibility. I can actually see a bonnet, which is a rarity in modern cars. Massive wing mirrors give you that security on the road. You get a real good feeling of what's going on around you. And the dash layout is ever so simple to use. You've got a lovely big radio, nice and easy to use. A dual zone climate control system offering you different temperatures side to side, pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Dash binnacle in front, simplicity itself, nice, easy, legible dials, all working perfectly. Cruise control, again, just checked it there, all working exactly as it should. The steering wheel just looks and feels absolutely as new in hand as well. This is a four-wheel drive version of the car. There are no buttons to press on it, of course, because it does it all for you. The nature of these is that Honda again worked out very quickly that most people will be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions where you just don't need the four-wheel drive functioning. So basically, should you hit a bit of snow, ice or mud, the front wheels might momentarily lose grip, but instantly it brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it's utterly seamless in operation and incredibly effective. I tow a caravan with ours and I've never come close to getting stuck with one. Its simplicity also gives it its reliability, by the way. That's not great. Let's see. The fact that it's not been used regularly means that you put far less mechanical stress to the cars, you lose less fuel definitely, and you put the tyres last longer by not scrubbing as much. As I said at the start of the video, it's only brief, but it's there just to show the car operating. We've been selling Hondas for nearly 3 decades. We used to work at the Honda main dealers. We know these cars intimately. We've sold thousands of them, and I have to say this is one of the nicest I've driven. It's just as close to new as you could ever expect a car to drive. It just feels incredibly tight. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.